So I did a whole different video on how to start budgeting in 5 steps, which you definitely should watch first. Welcome back. So here is details of step number 3, which is actually how to make a budget. Now, let me say there's 1,000 apps that exist out there that are budgeting apps that if you don't want to manually track, you should look into. They're easy to use. I personally am maybe just old school. I just like inputting my numbers manually. And I also am like kind of superstitious. I know my bank has access to all my things, but I don't know. It's kind of weird another company has like access to like all of my spending habits. I don't know. So I personally use Excel to track. And here's how I do that. 2 key things that may be unique to how I budget using Excel that other people may not do. I do my budgeting by month, and so each tab represents a month. However, within each tab, I separate expenses into check 1 and check 2. I get paid twice a month. Ashton, my husband, gets paid bi-weekly. However, it's important for me to track by check because a lot of times your budget may say you have $5,000 to spend this month. However, you don't have $5,000 to spend that month until the second half of the month when you got paid out for the second time. Another thing I started doing this year is that I do projected versus actual. And so this is to hold mainly myself accountable because I used to just always put the projected number and whatever happens, happens. But now I have to hold myself accountable. And so when I do my budget, I put the projected number. And as a rule that I sometimes break, I am not allowed to touch that number. I am only allowed to input stuff in the actual category. So say if I thought I was gonna spend $300 on groceries, I put $300 in the projected. But if I actually spent $450, I can't go back and change that projected number to $450. I have to now put an actual number over $450. So like I mentioned before, I do it month by month. I don't actually pre-make all of the months of the year. I just go month by month. And so I'm in December 2025 right now. So for January 2026, I'm literally just duplicating at the end of the month, December to January, mainly because life changes so much over the course of the year. So usually the previous month is probably close to what I'm doing for the future month. So I just duplicate as time goes on. So I break down my budget into 9 different categories. You should do whatever works best for you and your household. This just works best for mine. So the first category is housing, which includes our mortgage, energy, oil if we have to buy some. I also put a subcategory for like miscellaneous house things we have to buy from AutoZone and stuff like that. Next is transportation, which includes gas, Ashton's car note, our car insurance, car taxes, all stuff like that. Next is personal care, which includes a bunch of different things, honestly. Includes therapy. It also includes like payouts that we get to our personal fund money accounts. But also includes things like date nights. But also includes like beauty and hair care. So it's kind of a lot going on in that category. Pets, dog food, dog insurance, dog boarding, medical. We rarely have anything like projected for medical unless we have like an appointment planned. So it's usually just stuff that happens to come up, which happens very rarely. Travel. A lot of the times travel is always for like months in the future. So like now I'm booking stuff for like a trip way next year. And so that's usually like never for now, it's always for the future. Obviously, unless it's the month that we're in and we're spending money while we're there. Loans. So for us, this includes Ashton's student loan. I don't include car loan here. I include that in transportation. I also include the mortgage here, which is technically a loan. I include that in housing, but do you as you want to. Food. So this includes groceries, but also dining out. And we also get lunch money. So this includes all that stuff for us. Gifts and donations, we tithe. And so that's the main category that we put there. But also it's obviously Christmas time, which I'm shooting this now. And so gifts, that type of stuff, birthdays, all that kind of stuff. Subscriptions. So any monthly or yearly subscriptions that come up, that's there. And then play. This is really any type of entertainment that we do, which typically is a lot. It could be really random like pickleball or volleyball or comedy show, movie night, whatever, that all goes here. So in the top left corner of my budget, I put our income. Like I said, I base it by check and I also put what date that check hits. But I also have a leftover line in that because we always try to leave around $500 to carry over into the next month just as a buffer because our mortgage hits probably like yours the first of the month. And so most of our expenses are on the front of the month and we get paid evenly throughout the month. And so we usually have so much money left over on the second half of the month, but the first month is a lot more tight. And so I leave an extra cushion from the previous month. And so I also leave a line for there. But I also have added lines here. So like once we get a tax return, I'll add a line there. Or if we got a large gift or something, I kind of put anything right there. So in the middle, I put the expenses. And like I said, I put check 1 versus check 2. And as you see for ours, like I said, most of our expenses are in check 1 the first half of the month. And I also put the projected versus actual. I don't know how detailed y'all want this to be, but if you're curious on how I actually like make all of the categories go into this one box. If you go to named ranges, you can name certain groups of numbers. And so for housing check 1 total, I name that housing check 1 total. And I do that for check 2 total. And I also do that for housing total. And so basically for check 1, I just basically do like, for check 1 expenses, I do housing check 1 total plus transportation check 1 total. Once you name all of these once, you don't have to do it again. And so I just, when I first made the budget, named all these categories and it stays the same. And that's how everything adds up to one box. So like I mentioned the categories before, for each actual expense versus projected, before the month starts, I go ahead and put all of the things in the projected. As the month goes, I typically don't wait till the very end of the month. As the month goes, I'm kind of filling in numbers. There's certain set expenses, like housing is typically always the same. Our mortgage isn't changing that often. It changes like once a year with escrow and everything, but it doesn't change that often. So I kind of can go ahead and already pre-fill in the actual numbers versus things that are a lot more variable, like fuel or groceries, that things I can't put in until later. But what I like to do is after check 1 is done. So for me, check 1 is over at the 15th of the month. At the 15th or 16th, everything is check 2 expenses. So at that point in the month, I go ahead and fill in all the numbers just so to make sure I'm on track. Because at this point, you may see that you're not on track. You need to pivot for the second half of the month. So don't wait till the month is over to be like, damn, I overspent $2,000 when you could have caught that 15 days prior. And all the way on the right, I have the difference. So it automatically is green if it's good, basically meaning if it's 0 or more. It's red if it's less than 0. And so if I overspent in any category versus projected. I haven't figured out an easy way to do this, but for the dates, I do for data validation and I insert in the dates for each month. I literally don't know how to make it for the whole year. Well, I guess I could technically add in all of the yearly dates, but I don't want that for each month. I just want each month to have each own dates. So I haven't figured it out. It takes literally 2 minutes to do it for each month. But if you know a hack to fix that, let me know, please. So this is a general tip for Excel. You might see for a lot of my categories, I have like extra lines. You're probably thinking that's ugly. It is ugly, but I just hate having to add new lines. When I do have to add new lines, make sure you select those specific cells and then right click, insert cells and shift down. If you click the entire row and insert, you will literally mess up every single formula in that sheet. And everything will like be like REF. I don't know what REF means, but that's the error code always screams. Don't do that. And so make sure you only select those cells and then click. And then sometimes your thing gets messed up. Like your formulas were supposed to be for these rows. Like sometimes I have to check up on mine. Like I'm like, this amount doesn't seem right. And it's because it was supposed to be some D61 to D64, but somehow went from D60 to 64, whatever. So just make sure, check your formulas. Excel will be Excel. You will be you. We're all human. And so just make sure, well, Excel is not human. Make sure it's calculating the right things because mine gets messed up sometimes. So I actually put this Excel sheet in the description. It's perfectly free. It's just something I made that I use for myself. So if you find that useful, you can go ahead and use it for yourself. My really goal is I really want everyone to be able to have good personal finance. That's just something that's so important to me. And I'm really am trying to like share that with people who are interested in that. And so like I said, it's in the description, downloadable. Just make sure you share a copy and that's with yourself. And then you can make it editable for yourself and change up the colors because the colors are ugly. Change up whatever your categories are. If you have questions, let me know. I will help out wherever I can. But yeah, I want everyone to have a good 2026. Start off the year right, get your money together, and make sure you watch the other video like I mentioned. But the main thing is you're going to have to pivot. You will not be perfect. I am still not perfect. I will never be perfect. But I am still editing this budget to this day. And so give yourself grace, but also hold yourself accountable. There's a fine line to walk there, and that's only the line that you can walk for yourself. So let me know if you have any questions, and have a great day.